The media tells us that Joe Biden's recent speech problems are from his childhood stutter returning, and that we shouldn't question or analyze the exceedingly obvious difficulties that Biden has when he is speaking, which is exactly why I will be analyzing his speech patterns today. I refuse to accept that Joe Biden calling people the wrong names, not knowing where he is, lashing out in anger at his own supporters, and babbling incoherently is explained away simply by saying his childhood stutter has returned. These so-called gaffes that we have all become accustomed to appear to indicate that something bigger is going on with Biden's communication or health. There are other communication impairments that can look similar to stuttering or occur with it. If there is a true stutter in a man Biden's age, it is more likely the result of a neurological problem because a developmental childhood stutter returning is rare. Additionally, CNN reported that Biden has had neurosurgery on not one, but 2 brain aneurysms. The first aneurysm burst, resulting in what is also known as a hemorrhagic stroke. I am going to discuss 3 communication impairments that either can be mistaken for stuttering, can occur with stuttering, or may explain some of the speech problems that Joe Biden appears to have. Aphasia, dysarthria, and a cognitive communication impairment, which may include dementia. Before we get into all of that, we have to define stuttering. I'm going to give you the watered-down version of the definition because if you went to school for speech, you'd spend an entire semester on the subject and it would be called disfluency. The watered-down definition of stuttering is an involuntary disruption in fluent speech with repetitions, prolongations of sounds, syllables, and words, blocks, and sometimes with struggle and tension. So I could say, but, or with struggle, but. That would be what it could sound like. Stuttering is not mispronouncing words, forgetting words, saying things that don't make sense, incomplete thoughts, or slurred speech.
Well, it is what it is because he is who he is.
You're trying your best.
As kitchen table I learned. And oh, Biden, bomb a Democrat.
A person who stutters does not need to be cued or redirected back to the topic of a conversation.
For example, the Paycheck Protection Act. 1% of the money's gone out. 1%. 1% of the, that's not the paycheck, the bill for small businesses. Mainstream lending. 1%'s gone out.
Number 1, aphasia. Aphasia is the inability or decreased ability to express oneself or understand others. It's an acquired neurogenic disorder resulting in the loss of language skills. Aphasia can affect your understanding, reading, writing, and how you say something. Aphasia can be caused by strokes, traumatic brain injuries, dementia, brain tumors, epileptic seizures, other types of brain damage, and aneurysms. And we all know that Joe Biden has had multiple aneurysms. Biden's aneurysms occurred in 1988, but with brain injuries, there can be residual damage that can show up years later and affect your cognition. Politico reported that Dr. Neil Cassell, the neurosurgeon that operated on Biden's aneurysms, told Biden, quote, "The side of the brain that the first aneurysm is on controls your ability to speak," unquote. That's a quote from Biden's own doctor, which appears to confirm that the damage done to his brain occurred in the speech and language part of the brain. Aphasia symptoms include, but are not limited to, difficulty finding or getting the right word out.
The rapidly rising I don't know.
I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
Semantic paraphasia, aka word substitutions, For example, saying brother instead of sister.
We choose truth over facts.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate.
This is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, this is oh, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister.
Literal paraphasia, aka mispronouncing words.
But if Donald Trump is reelected.
Socially inappropriate speech.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Difficulty reading or understanding written words.
And in addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are. Well, let me go to the second thing. I've spoken enough of it. The president must use the Defense Production Act.
And stutter-like speech.
The pandemic is that the president has no intercourse whatsoever with the rest of the world. I'm dealing with these things. We led, like Barack Obama led in the in the pandemic that occurred.
Number 2, dysarthria. Dysarthria is the decreased ability to produce clear speech. It's often referred to as slurred speech. Dysarthria is caused by damage to nerves or weakness of muscles that control speech due to brain injuries, Parkinson's disease, strokes, and other conditions. And once again, Joe Biden has had a hemorrhagic stroke. Someone with dysarthria can be hard to understand.
I want to thank Rich Fitzgerald, the county executive, Allegheny County executive, for being here.
Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Folks in America don't think their children are going to have the same standard of living they had.
Number 3, cognitive communication impairment. Cognitive communication impairment means an impairment in thinking skills, including orientation, attention, memory, executive functions, information processing, problem solving / reasoning, safety awareness, and visual spatial constructional skills. The causes of cognitive communication impairment include dementia, brain injury, neurological diseases, strokes, and other diagnoses. And once again, Joe Biden has not only had a hemorrhagic stroke, but also a brain aneurysm. Cognitive communication impairment symptoms include, but are not limited to, difficulty focusing and being distractible.
Folks, I learned something early on from my family and my mom and dad. They said, Joey, nobody is better than you, but everyone is your equal. Everyone is your equal.
Disorientation.
What's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it? And what a neat town. Instead of meeting to deal with the needs of the people of Arizona.
Impaired memory.
He made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
You said you're Abraham Lincoln.
No, where did that? No.
You said,
I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community.
And I'm saying,
I didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln.
just like in my generation, when I got out of school, that when Bobby Kennedy and Dr. King had been assassinated in the 70s, late 70s.
Decreased reasoning and judgment.
Why should people who feel that they are better off today under the Trump administration vote for you?
Well, if they think that, they probably shouldn't.
And inappropriate social behavior.
Joe Biden wouldn't let Hillary go if they met on the tarmac at Scranton Airport. He gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. He leans in for a kiss. Perhaps his most famous hands-on moment came when he put his hands on the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter.
Got a lot of thanks to give out.
Dementia is a cognitive communication disorder. Dementia is not one specific disease. It is a broad term that describes a wide range of symptoms associated with a decline in memory, communication, and other thinking skills, severe enough to reduce a person's ability to perform everyday activities. The common causes of dementia are strokes, AIDS, alcohol abuse, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, tumors, drugs or medication, and other causes. Language characteristics of dementia include, but are not limited to, speaking in incomplete sentences or thoughts.
My son's business dealings were not anything with everybody that he's talking about, not even remotely, number one. And what makes his wild claims and hopes, he now hopes we don't notice what he said or won't remember. And when he does follow through or doesn't do when follow through, the exact opposite.
Requiring extra time to process and respond to questions, statements, and direction.
And those poor people who have lost, anyway, it's just...
Difficulty naming objects, people, places, etc.
The president my friend from Vermont thinks that...
All right, Chuck, thank you very much.
All right, it's Chris, but anyway.
Chris, the bills that the future president here, that the senator is talking about.
And denial of deficits.
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his tests and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There can be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental as well as my mental fitness.
Other symptoms of dementia include, but are not limited to, difficulty concentrating / attending, for example, under-aroused / sleepy.
Now, if you're a 65-year-old who's eligible for Medicare, you should have to pay nearly $6,400 more than you would today.
Exaggerated personality traits or changes.
Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay.
Fear of abandonment. Someone might not want to be left alone.
Thank you to PNC Field for hosting us. Stay tuned for Cuomo Prime Time coming up next.
Can I see my family? It sounds good. Can I see my family? Laura, this is what you hear at the elder care unit when they disobey the people taking care of them. Can I see my family? I want my family to help.
Impaired memory.
When the kids from Parkland marched up to, and I met with them, and then they went off to up on the hill when I was vice president. They went off the hill. The only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people.
No,
my point is...
That's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first African-American elected. First African-American. So my point is...
Confusion, frustration, agitation.
Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Oh. Thanks. Thanks. Okay.
Joe.
You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Even Dr. Ronnie Jackson, the former White House physician for both Obama and President Trump, said, quote, "As a citizen, not as a candidate running for Congress, but as a citizen of this country, I've watched Joe Biden on the campaign trail, and I am concerned and convinced that he does not have the mental capacity, the cognitive ability to serve as our commander-in-chief and our head of state," unquote. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not diagnosing Joe Biden. I'm just giving you information so you can draw your own conclusions about his word salads. I'm going to leave you with a few questions. Does Joe Biden have difficulty reading from a teleprompter?
Let's move it up here. You know, there used to be a basic bargain in this country.
Does Joe Biden have difficulty finding or getting the right word or words out?
I would eliminate the capital gains tax.
that I would raise the capital gains tax to the highest rate of 39.5%. I would double it. Because guess what? Why in God's name should someone who's clipping coupons in the stock market in fact, pay a lower tax rate than someone who, in fact, is, like I said, a school teacher and a firefighter? It's ridiculous.
Does Joe Biden use vague words such as thing or stuff often?
Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Does Joe Biden put words together that don't make sense when he speaks?
Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure and hell take care of running a department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies department or whatever. You know what I mean?
Does Joe Biden slur words when he speaks?
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Does Joe Biden demonstrate difficulty formulating or organizing thoughts?
Why doesn't he just act like a president?
That's a stupid way to say it.
You know, Donald Trump was asked on...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, probably best I don't.
Does Joe Biden have difficulty remembering where he is?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Kingswood Community Center. Actually, that's the one down I used to work. It's a joke. You didn't know where we were. Anyway.
Does Joe Biden have trouble remembering people's names?
A man I'm proud to call my friend. A man who will be the next president of the United States, Barack America.
Does Joe Biden demonstrate confusion and agitation?
Wait. Take the AR-14s away. A lot of guys want me, man. I'm not worried. Give me a break.
Does Joe Biden demonstrate difficulty recalling information and facts?
They do not have to buy in.
You just said that. You just said that 2 minutes ago. You just said 2 minutes ago that they would have to buy in. You said they would have to buy in.
If she qualifies for Medicaid,
are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago?
Are you
forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago? I mean, I can't believe that you said 2 minutes ago that they had to buy in, and now you're saying they don't have to buy. You're forgetting that.
If you answered yes to any of these questions, then the choice is clear. You can't even trust Biden to feed your goldfish, so under no circumstances whatsoever can a man in his state be allowed to lead this great nation.
We cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and please share it. You can help us continue to fight in the war against disinformation by donating at paypal.me/rightleftofcenter and at subscribestar.com/rightleftofcenter. I'm Right from Right Left of Center, and if you're watching, you're probably right too.